Hello everybody, I'm Van Souls here in Lake Wales, Florida, here at historical Camp Mac here on the Kissimmee Chain of Lakes. And speaking on behalf of all the people around here in this community and surrounding cities, you know, we're excited for the FLW Tour event to finally be coming back to the Kissimmee Chain of Lakes, going out of Toho on the north end of the lake. And I know the anglers are going to be here at a great time. They're going to be right here at the start of the spring spawn, and the bass are going to be showing up in the shallows. And just kind of want to go over some of the things that you know, I think that I'll be fishing, looking forward during the tournament, and I think some of my counterparts are going to be doing as well. And with the bass coming in to spawn in the shallow areas, if we have a really good spring, and it's not interrupted by any massive cold fronts that come in and disrupt the spawn, a lot of guys are going to be in their shallows, and they're going to be looking for isolated pads and scattered cattails and buggy whips. And one of the things they're going to be looking for is clean water, because they got to have that sunlight, and a sandy bottom. When you get on the banks of Lake Toho, you're going to find that. And one of the more effective baits that we use this past spawn on this chain of lakes is this gambler burner worm. It's a bulkier worm than some of the other speed worms that are out there that have this tail and this same kind of cut. But one of the things I've noticed is it's got the body on here very similar to what the Why Not is going to have, but only this is in the worm version of it. But you can do a lot of things with this. You can swim it, you can pause it, and making long casts around those scattered pads is going to be key to get those big bites. You're going to catch the buck bass first, and you're going to catch the bigger ones with this worm here. They want something big and bulky. It's going to anger that female and that buck, and you're going to trigger some bites. But if you get some areas where there's going to be some flat pads, they're going to spawn around those flat pads just as much, especially when there's clean water and maybe some hydrillopods around. They will still come up and hit top water, especially if you get shallow enough and you see them in there where you can catch them while they're on the bed in the real shallow areas. A big easy is going to work good. The easy swimmer will work good if they get a little bit more finicky. But the big easy is a very popular swim bait here in South Florida. It originated on Lake Okeechobee. It kind of mimics a baby mullet, so to speak. But up here it works just as good. It's going to trigger that big bite. It's going to look like something coming towards their bed, and on that top water you're going to see some big time blow ups on here with this bait. But if you do get in there in a situation where you do have a cold front come through, it is going to mess up that spawn here in Florida. These bass are very sensitive to cold front and changes in the weather, and that female is not going to stay in there. She's going to back off, and she's going to get into the heaviest vegetation she can find. So the way to go after them is Gambler's BB Cricket. It's a very well-known cold front flipping matted vegetation bait, very popular here in Kissimmee and Okeechobee. But you find the thickest stuff you can find near that spawning ground and go to punching, and it's going to be very methodical, and it's going to be a slow bite. But that's where she's going to be until that cold front settles down and gets on out of here, and then she'll ease back out on the bed. But you got to have to play it by ear, and you're going to have to watch the weather, and it's going to be a very key part, especially in a multiple day tournament like this. You may see the patterns change maybe anywhere from 2 to 3 times, just based on the weather changes that are there and how quickly the water warms up. Also too, on a cold front, a lot of times if there's no matted vegetation around, you can take these bigger swim jigs and go offshore and kind of slow roll them. This here is a Gambler thick grass swim jig. This is a 1/2 ounce swim jig paired with an easy swimmer. You can catch them out there offshore with this slow rolling it in the hydrilla. And a lot of times you can get those fish that are suspended, or the ones that are still staging out there, ready to move in. And they'll be out there. They're looking for something out there moving. It's going to be very hard to get them if it's not a moving bait. But it's going to be a great tournament. I think it's probably going to take close to anywhere from 75 to 80 pounds to win that 4-day tournament, especially just given the time of the year and some of the big fish that are going to show up. I'm extremely excited about it, and I hope to see everybody there.